So when I woke up this morning, I thought today was going to be my typical day, a typical day that it's been for the past roughly five weeks of me being on my leave of absence from work. A typical day. Just maybe doing a little bit of cleaning. I do spend a lot of time in the Bible and in prayer, and I do watch some movies and stuff like that. But that's pretty much my typical day since I've been on leave. I mean, there's not a whole lot. I spent a little bit of time outside, but there's not much to do in the quarantine. So when I woke up this morning, I just figured it was going to be another typical day. Well, as it started out as my typical routine, my typical day. About right around 1 o'clock, it started veering off its typical road, and I decided to go ahead and go out and get a little bit of gas put in my car, since I haven't really drove my car in like 2 weeks, roughly 2 weeks. Because of course, anyone who knows vehicles, it's not good to just let your car sit. So I decided to go ahead and drive it a little bit, and like I said, get a few dollars worth of gas in my tank. I was needing some gas and just kind of get out a little bit, and came back home. And on my way home, I got to looking at my vehicle from the inside, and obviously, and decided, well, when I get home, I want to clean it real good, because the windows really needed cleaned and stuff like that. It was a while. It was a while back. I had an incident where it was a road rage incident. Another driver had gotten really upset at me because he couldn't cut in front of me and speed off, even though he wouldn't have got too far because there were so many cars. That his passenger ended up throwing about roughly half to 3/4 full cup, plastic or foam cup, I can't remember which it was, but of soda into my car. My window was down, and so I ended up with soda sprayed all over. And anyways, I hadn't gotten all the soda up, the soda mess cleaned up and stuff. I just hadn't gotten to it yet. So I decided when I got home, I would go ahead and get that cleaned up. And I mean, it's a beautiful day outside, and I didn't really have anything else to do, so I decided to go ahead and do that. So when I got home, I went ahead and took a Windex out, and I already had this Armor All cleaner, and so I was planning on using that too. Well, as I'm cleaning the windows and stuff and wiping everything down, and as I'm starting to somewhat dig into my car and stuff, and it was looking nice, well, I decided to take a little step further, and I started to actually get all the trash and the garbage out of my car, and just really cleaning my car up good. And by the time I got done, it looked so much better. Well, as I was in the process of doing this, it was just really late on me that times, well, for one, so many times when we wake up, those of us who are believers of Christ, when we wake up in the morning, we think it would be a typical day. It's going to be a typical day. And it always, every single day, it always turns out to not be a typical day. There's always something there's going to be a twist, whether it be something really, really tiny, but we catch on to it. We end up seeing it when our eyes are open to it, or something big. And to me, it's very gratifying. It's very, it makes me appreciate him even more. And it gives me something even more to look forward to each and every day. His blessings are just absolutely amazing. But it also got me to thinking that, whether we are following him or not, you could not be following him, and we just say like little typical prayers, whether you've got, God forbid, a loved one in the hospital or something like that, and you end up saying prayers and stuff, and others are praying too, and he ends up taking that situation, that little prayer that you have, and he ends up not only answering the prayer, but he takes it further just because he can. He ends up going further with that. And us as those of us who are believers and followers of Christ, he ends up, when we ask him to help us with things or to clean us and point us in the right direction within ourselves of what we need to get rid of, he doesn't just sit there and do that and cleanse us of that area, but he takes it further and he goes deeper, and he doesn't. That's just exactly what I was doing with today. I thought it was going to be a typical day. It turned out to not be a typical day. When you walk with Christ, it is never a typical day. Never, never, never a typical day. And when you go and you ask him to cleanse you and to cleanse a certain area of your life, he doesn't just sit there and get the surface. He goes deeper. He goes deep within, and he wants to do that. We just have to allow him to do that. And this was just weighed on me it's so extremely heavy that I had to get on here. I had to make a video, and I had to just share it with everyone. I just felt really led to do it, and I know he was having me to do it. Somebody out there there's somebody out there who needs to hear this, and I just had to get on here and share it. And I thank you, as always, for taking the time out to watch Little Me. I know you don't have to, but you see my mug and you click on it, and I much appreciate it. Pray about everything. Pray about things I say. Pray about everything I say. And for those who don't believe, and if you've made it this far in this video, first of all, thank you. Second of all, especially those who are hardcore non-believers, all it takes is the faith of a mustard seed. Faith of a mustard seed. That's all it takes. If you ask him, genuinely ask him to reveal himself to you, he will. But you got to be open to it. Thank you. Much love. God bless.